we've got some psychodynamic people out there listening. They're like, oh, but we heard that you were like the blue shadow. Well, that has absolutely nothing to do with it. Look at the big books, and that they even had it like, and like when you have a little kid, I just call that a JRAD. That's a Junior Resource Acquisition Device. What is my situation relative to my marketplace with respect to these traits? Okay, and also by proxy, if we have children, how are they doing in their trading? Okay, that's what's going on. So this is the mathematical description. Like I said, it's probably not the only one that's out there, but the amount of motivation for a goal number one, is the estimated gain, genetic gain, i.e. how much gene survival units will be improved if we achieve this goal. The genetic gain of that times the perceived probability of success of that goal minus any losses that would be incurred in attempting that goal times the perceived probability of a failure. These things are not mathematical complements, by the way. We'll see that in a second. Divided by the time and energy expenditure index will equal the estimated biological efficiency of that goal. Sounds fancy, but the truth is, it's actually intuitively obvious. What's the upside? What's the downside? We have to divide it by the time and energy expenditure. That gives us the biological efficiency, estimated biological efficiency of that goal. Is that goal worth pursuing? That is actually what is happening. So it looks, because the two organisms having the perception of the environment have a very different species-specific calculus, you wasted in bad decisions. If that's not what they're going to do, then it's not worth the machinery to have it. Okay? This is why human beings rule the earth. They rule the earth not because they're individually brilliant. They rule the earth because they can network with the brains of other humans. And the reasons why you've seen the extraordinary cultural evolution that you've seen in the last few thousand years is because we went from hunter-gatherers that only had 30 people to talk to. We went from there through an agricultural process which was caused 100 times much intensity of population. You could support 100 times more people on the same square foot of land than you can as a hunter-gatherer. As a result of that, you don't have 30 people in your village. You go 30 times 100, now you've got 3,000 in your little farming community somewhere in Salisbury, England 10,000 years ago. Now it looks different. Now you've got 30,000 people talking and exchanging. Wow. You talk about how many more memories in there, how much more data you have about decision making, how much more now gets discovered and passed on. It's extraordinary. This is the reason. The reason is language involved the process of being able to share that information and mine memories and then back it up on other databases. Clinician, my job is to figure out how on earth can people change? How can I improve their functioning in their lives? It's not going to be from, oh, you just need to make better choices. How? Why? What's the cost-benefit analysis? It has to be accurate to the analysis of the unconscious mind, or it's not going in there. People have thought that you take conscious things and force them down into the unconscious and make yourself feel better about yourself in order to do it that way. It doesn't work that way. It works exactly the opposite way. Okay? You don't program the unconscious. You educate it. And it has reasoning mechanisms and logical operations. It's not buying BS. If it's open to experience, it may experiment with what is likely to be not worthwhile, which is standing in front of the mirror like Stuart Smalley and saying, I'm gosh enough, I'm nice enough, and I'm good looking enough, and people like me, doggone it. That will not program how it is that you feel about yourself. You can't get to a better adjacent possible. She turned me down, I'm depressed. Really? I asked Susie out, she said she wanted to go out with me. Happy? We just won the Super Bowl. Happy? We just lost the Super Bowl. Sad? Yeah. It's real obvious, okay? Of course, something as sophisticated as a feedback system like that system should be doing a really good job tracking survival and reproductive values. And it is, okay? So the primary path is through the failure feedback process. It's esteem losses and other resource losses, okay? The secondary pathway, yes, you could have some people that are overly negative, but hey, they completely missed the big truck. It makes people very sad and causes a ruminative analysis of the problem. Of course it does. Losses could be very high. Ask Simone Biles, the great gymnast. That girl was told, you're the greatest gymnast in the world. You can't possibly be expected to fail. We expect you to sweep the gold medals. Problem is, that brain ran a calculus and said, you know what? There's not very much gain for me winning because they already expect me to win. But if I lose, it's catastrophic. So therefore, I'm running that calculus, and that little kid ran that calculus and ran that calculus and ran that calculus in a society that now absolutely will say, pat you on the head, say, oh, mental illness, mental problems, oh, we got to take care of you, right? Never before in history did we have that culture. But that kid calculated and was in an overwhelming ego trap where there's tremendous expectation. Her brain simply ran the calculus and the motivation equation went into negative numbers. That's what it is. Okay? And what did she do? Complain about bad things that happened to her. The cognitive behavioral therapist can accidentally lower the L1 estimate. The life you deserve.